Well, hi there, welcome to the channel. My name's Dan and I'm a progressing wood turner, and basically I'm new to YouTube and I've not been on for the last few days. I've been rather busy sorting a few things out, but today basically, as you can see, I've got some of the last oak basically which I've been recently given. So once we get through this oak, we shall start delving into some other types of timber, some of the exotic woods I've got basically. Before I get into this this wood turning live, I'm going to say my name's Dan. If you have any questions, don't forget to drop them in the comments. And but yeah, I was going to say I've been wood turning for close to 2 years now. And but yeah, everything you see today is just a demonstration. And yeah, it's just everything that I've actually learned over the last 18 months of actually wood turning. So I'm just going to give this a nice little measure. We are, where are we now? We are 10.5 inches wide, okay? And looking at the width of this piece is 5 inches. So it's a pretty nice block of oak, I'm going to say. And but yeah, I've been wood turning for just under a couple of years now. And yeah, I enjoy the process of turning things and making some practical stuff basically. So if you are new to my channel, I was going to say I like to have a bit of banter as I'm wood turning, a bit of a chat, and just find out kind of like any of the wood turners in the room. Anybody else who's got any feedback, really, any constructive feedback, it's always helpful. And say I tend to give a lot of my bowls away, and yeah, I was going to say I like to just produce things that are a little bit different, really. I do make an awful lot of bowls because that's what I was taught to make right from the very beginning. But I will be delving into pens, rings, all sorts of stuff, really. But yeah, I'm just getting PPE'd up, getting the helmet on. And I've already got my bowl gouges sharp, which should sort things out, speed things up in the process. But like I said, if you've got any questions, don't forget to fire away, really. And I will try and either point in the right direction or try and answer the best I can. I am working on the Coroner Herald here from Record Power. And it's a great lathe. It can handle some really big beasts. So yeah, it's 10.5 inches wide by 5 inches. So we're going to start this on the lowest RPM because I don't fancy the lathe deciding it wants to go for the walk basically. So first thing I'm going to be mindful of, it's sweeping out basically. It's sweeping out from the bark, and it dips in and it sweeps back out like I've got two wings basically. So it's coming in and coming back out. So but yeah, I'm going to try and turn this into a nice decorative piece. And like I said, I've turned a lot of oak on my channel. It's one of our native timbers here in Wales, and it's rather gusty here in Wales today. It's quite windy. But we're going to gradually speed up basically, and I'll talk you through the revs as we're going. Okay, we're 255 there. I'm going to get much quicker than that. Get past that vibration. 379, okay. I'm going to leave it there until I get some kind of proportion going really, and then we'll speed up a lot faster. A lot faster. So yeah, so my name's Dan, and I've been wood turning for a couple of years now. And hi there. Those street cats. Welcome to my live, street cats. Hi there, Ali. Hi there, Ashley. Welcome to my live. What's that, Christopher? Well, that looks dangerous. It certainly is dangerous. It certainly is dangerous. It's a wood lathe, and yeah, I make an awful lot of stuff on this wood lathe. And but yeah, safety is paramount, mate. Safety is paramount, and always got to be looking after yourself, especially when you've got huge chunks of timber like this flying around. I was going to say it's I had one lesson as a wood turner, and the rest of it is pretty much what I've taught myself. If anybody, what am I doing? I'm wood turning, Cam. Basically, I'm a wood turner. I make lots of practical stuff, so bowls, platters, vases, that kind of thing. I've just recently turned a smallish bowl of oak. Basically, we turned this in one of my last lives. So And big by PPE gloves, you've got the face protection. It's not just your face protection, Christopher. Just behind the camera here, I've got a jet extraction system as well. In the corner, I've got an air filtration system as well. I've got a sanded station. I've got a PPE helmet. I've got a VersaFlow as well, just in case I'm working on exotic woods and I don't want to be breathing in that dust. But yeah, it's more than just your lathe. Your lathe is kind of half your budget, really. Yeah, I was going to say it's a nice piece of oak. I recently turned this piece, and what's the worst injury I got? I spoke about this in my other lives. Basically, the drive sensors and the live sensors, which sit in your headstock and your tailstock, I moved my hand too quickly past it. I caught the back of my hand on it, and it's a bit like a spike. Like this. I caught my hand on the back of it, moving around the lathe too fast. And second thing I did very early on was I tried to make a cut on the piece of timber I was working on. I didn't have my helmet on, and I went to just take the nib off the edge of the piece of timber, and I wasn't wearing my helmet, and it shot me right in the eye. And it was only a tiny little piece, and the blood shot my eye. So yeah, I was going to say it's always got to make sure you're well looked after. But if anybody wants to support the channel, it is free. If anybody wants to subscribe to my journey here on YouTube, is more than welcome to do so. I'm nearly at 3,000 subscribers, and I'm on my 5th week on YouTube, and we've got nearly 3,000 subscribers already. I was very lucky, Evolution, very lucky. It taught me one very valuable lesson. Always make sure my helmet is on. Like I said, you could break your hands, you can seriously injure yourself on a wood lathe. We're only at 379 revs at the moment. We will get up to about 800, 900. Do I sell them? Sometimes I give them on my way to things like charities and friends, neighbours, that kind of thing, really. I will do in the future. I'd use those bowls to put a huge weed mix in. I was going to say, all my bowls end up with a food safe finish. So I coat them in what's called pure tongue oil, and it gives it a lovely shine to them. And yeah, I was going to say it's and then once they're cured, you can use them for practically anything, really. Hi there, Mario. Hi there, DM. Hi there, Marion. Welcome to the live. So what I'm doing is I'm cleaning up the back of the log because I can't sit into a bowl with loads of bark on it. So I'm just, because I'm only at 379, it's not making really clean, fast cuts, basically, because of the size of it. It's got a lot of weight to it. So I have to be mindful, really, of the weight, because if you speed up too fast, then you're asking for problems. The machine, it's called a Record Power Coronet Herald, and you can pick these up in the UK for around about £900. It is a wood lathe, Cam. It is a wood lathe. Alien pine, I tend not to turn too much pine. We get a lot of Scandinavian pine here in Wales. And it's very often you get a lot of tear out on the end grain, and it's full of sap. It's half a log. It's half a log, Christopher. So it starts off with one log. Let me try and explain myself. There's half a log. Shush. Right, so you can imagine, right? Here's the log. Okay, it'll add another half to this. Basically what I do is I slice it down the centre, and I basically take the pith, which is in the dead centre of the log. So basically that's where the heart of the log is, the core, and it's the softest part of the wood. You leave it in, and you turn a bowl, it's likely to start cracking from that pith, and it just spreads and cracks your bowl. So, but yeah, half a log. I can make 2 bowls out of 1 log. But I don't just turn oak, I turn ash as well. Where's my ash? I've got it here, somewhere. Somewhere. There it is. Now this is spalted ash. This is a lot bigger, okay? You can say you could put an awful lot of stew in this. But all this markings you see in the bottom here, it's spalting. Basically, it's a type of fungus which grows to the wood before wood rot kicks in. But this is about 10 inches by 4 inches, 4.5 inches. It's a pretty big fruit bowl, but it's quite intricate. It's quite different. Oak's more like tanned. So, but yeah, we make stuff like this. But yeah, if you want to see me get better at this stuff, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I am a progressive. I used to call myself a beginner wood turner, but I turn an awful lot of stuff a lot of the time. And yeah, so I'd like to prefer the I'll let you like the fungus can. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? It's called spalting. That's what it's called. But yeah, I was going to say, and yeah, because I was calling myself a beginner all the time. I was thinking, well, am I really a beginner? 2 years in, I'd prefer to call myself a progressive wood turner because I am progressing all the time. What I'm using here is called bowl gouge. Okay. I've never turned any exotic woods before, but I have got 3 exotic woods here. I thought I was going to fall off the lathe there. This block here is actually wild mango. It's an type of African hardwood. So we're going to be turning some of this in the next few weeks. Got to be very careful with this stuff because it can be quite irritates the skin. So got to be careful with this stuff. So we've got wild mango. I think this is Tanga, 10 inches by 2 inches. So I don't tend to often buy bowl blanks, but I wanted to try something different. Tanga, another type of exotic wood. So we're definitely gonna be trying this out as well. The tables and tools super expensive, or the lathe is half your budget, and then you've got to think about your extraction, which is basically enough to get your dust out of the air and stuff. Because when it comes to sanding, it's going to get very dusty in here. This is the next one I will be turning because I quite like the look of this. This is Umbelio. It's got a beautiful grain to it. See the grain patterns in it. Make a beautiful platter or a shallow bowl maybe. But this looks beautiful. So 3 exotic woods I want to try. Plus, for those anybody interested, I want to try and start mixing with epoxy, making some decorative stuff. So if you want to see, I'll get on with that stuff and say, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. What do you usually make? Bowls, mainly bowls, but I do want to delve into rings, pens, vases. I did a vase not long ago, vase of oak. So yeah, I need to get better at the vases because it's about the shape, the form, getting better at that stuff. So nice cup. Yeah, I was going to say it's more like a vase, but I'm going to crack on anyway. See if we can speed up a little bit. I know it looks like it's spinning like crazy now, but we're only about, not even at 400. This can get over 1,000. So, okay, 391. Okay, we'll still speed. We've still got a lot more to go. Still a lot faster to go. Let's get some progress. Get that wing off there. Right, for those wondering, somebody asked me the other day, somebody wanted me to explain the wood lathe. Up here, this bit here is where all the torque is done, okay, with the belts and stuff. This is the headstock, okay. The other side of the lathe is lathe dangerous, yes, it can be. This side, this piece here is called tail stock, okay. So you got your head, your tail, okay, head, tail. You got a dog, head, tail, right? The headstock is basically how we mount the wood, okay. So if we use the tail stock and we want to actually jam things in between two centers, okay, then basically we move the tail stock out of the way. And basically just below it here, this is called the banjo, okay? Banjo. And the banjo lets us move up and down the bed, okay? The bed is here, what it's all sitting on. And then we get the tool rest, okay? Up here is the control panel. Speed it up, slow it down, emergency stop, run it forwards, reverse, that kind of thing. But yeah, lathe is dangerous. Got to be really mindful of your safety all the time. All the time. No jewellery, no long hair, nothing like that, but I don't have that problem because I have no hair. So, we're going to crack on. We are going to crack on. Right. Yeah, it's been around that way. Okay, so what I want to try and do now is pull this banjo out, okay? I want to try and get more onto a 45-degree angle, so I'll bring this out. It's actually been supported with a chuck and a faceplate with the screws running straight through. Okay, not all the way through, but about an inch of the way into the wood, okay? Which is actually what's supporting it. So, yeah, once we've got our shape, our form, as we call it, we put a tenon on, a foot, flip it, all the way. Thank you, Richard. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Richard. Much appreciated. Like I said, my time on YouTube is pretty new, and I'm just finding my feet on YouTube. I've tried Instagram. I've tried TikTok. So we're trying YouTube. And believe you me, there's a lot more wood turners out there who are a lot more skilled than I am. Who can make much nicer stuff than me. But yeah, we've all started somewhere, haven't we? Got to start somewhere. Just want to make sure before I turn it on that's got a nice free roam to pass that tool rest, because I don't want to get stuck and jammed. We want to get that tool rest as close to the timber as possible so we don't get locked in, okay? Because that would be a problem. You can hurt your shoulder. Really hurt your shoulder. Lock everything in place. Right. Once I've knocked those corners off, I'm going to speed right up. So 40 likes already. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very, very much. It is oak, Richard. That is a good observation. That is oak, buddy. It's quite dry as well, so it's quite hard. So green oak, fresh oak, is quite easy to cut. It cuts like butter. Once it starts drying out, it becomes very, very dense. It becomes really hard. How long does it take to make a bowl? Depends how big the bowl is. I can make a small consort bowl, like a small one, like this is the consort bowl. A key bowl, okay? They take about 20 minutes. This should probably take me about 40, 45, so roughly about that. Thank you very much, Michael. Thank you very much. See, we've nearly got it round already, okay? It's nearly round already. So, once we've got it round, then we concentrate on the sides, okay? We move this bark here, we move this bark here. So you can tell with oak, the darker tan is the heart of the wood. And hi Ada, since welcome to my live. And the white part is the white oak. So it's, yeah, you just get that colour variation. And every piece of wood has got its own different characteristics, its own kind of like design. Like every tree is different. So, hi Bayron, so welcome to my live. But yeah, anybody who's new to my lives, I was going to say, it's yeah, it's just demonstrating kind of what I've learned in the last 18 months as a wood turner. And believe you me, I've mainly taught myself by watching YouTube. So, pretty crazy. But yeah, I had one lesson. The rest of it is jumping on this lathe. Right, we're going to speed up. We're going to speed up even more. 500 revs, so we've gone from 380 to 500, okay? Now it's really spinning. I'm going to make a practical bowl, hopefully. Practical, maybe a fruit bowl. We'll see how we get on with it. See how we get on. So how many of you 258 people in the room are actually new to my lives? Let me know. I'm going to say I do go live. I've been live a few times. You're saying whereabouts you're from. You know I'm from... hi BJ Snow, welcome back buddy. You say I'm very well, thank you mate. I've not been on for a few days. I've had a few things to sort out. But yeah, I was going to say it's... thank you Richard, appreciate that buddy. Bowl gouge I'm using is a 1/2 inch bowl gouge. It's quite aggressive. It can remove quite a lot of timber, as you can see. Then I've also got another one which has got a smaller flute. This is the flute. Basically it's a lot smaller and it's more for cleaning up precise cuts. You can see these lines in it, okay? We'll clean that up with a 3/8 bowl gouge, a bit smaller than this one. We'll speed up again because the lathe is struggling. $650, so gained another 150 revolutions per minute. Any cheap hobby lathes? I wouldn't spend cheap money on a lathe. One reason for that is because of the power. Every lathe will spin wood when it's got the capacity to spin wood and let you cut it at the same time is another thing. Because you'll find some cheap lathes, you'll go to make a cut and it'll just stop. And why does it stop? Because it doesn't have that torque, it doesn't have that power to be able to withstand the cutting process and the and spinning at the same time. if you're looking to get a lathe, maybe look at getting a second-hand one. Axminster makes some great lathes. Decorative Power, Laguna, one-way systems. You know, depends how much you want to spend on the lathe. Really, I'm going to say it's, but it's always best to invest a little bit more in the lathe and just get bit by bit by bit. If that makes sense, really. Laguna are the goat, mate. The Laguna are brilliant. So rapid power. They're great lathes. Great lathes. If I was going to upgrade from this, I'd probably go to a one-way lathe or a big boy lathe. Laguna, this lathe here cost me about £900 brand new. You may be able to pick one up second hand for £500-600 maybe. Thank you very much, Goodwood. Really appreciate that, buddy. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It all helps me out massively, massively. I'm trying to get to 3,000. I'm nearly there. I was going to say, yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. To buy them brand new, you get the 5-year guarantee from Record Power. Hence why I bought mine brand new. I do have a mini lathe, a small one, mini lathe. This is a MIDI lathe. So you've got a mini lathe, MIDI lathe, and then they go up again. So a mini lathe is good for small trinket cups, console bowls, pens, rings. MIDI lathes are good for bigger bowls like this. Hi Woodcraft, nice to see you back in the live, and thank you very much, Michael. Really do appreciate that, buddy. So Michael, we used a lot of wood, hardwoods, especially when making bowls and stuff. Or softwoods work too. I mean, pines are softwood. I tend not to turn it. I was going to say it holds a lot of sap, and you get a lot of tear outward basically on the end grain. It's really difficult to get a clean finish. So South Germany, welcome everybody from Wales. Lovely to have you with me. Lovely to have you with me. I can see we've got our shape. You can see all these different colour variations going on. I mean, all the characteristics coming through. But we'll just remove this bit here. I'm just going to clean that area up there. We'll put a tenon on. We're going to flip it, and we're going to hollow it out. Somebody asked me what's the difference between hollowing and coring. And I said, well, you core an apple, and you core an apple, you go straight through to remove the core. I don't want to go straight through a hole. I don't want to go straight through a hole. That'd be a waste of wood. So that's what we've got hollowing. So we hollow the inside out. Well, grade sandpaper. I go up to about 240. So I start at 80, then I go to 120, then 240, and at 240 it should be baby smooth, really smooth. I think anything over that depends really. I mean, stuff with the epoxy and stuff. I know you've got to stand up to about 1,000 grit, which we're going to get to at some point. So what I'm going to do. I'm going to change my bowl gouge, okay? Change this bowl gouge, because here's what I'm using. This big beast, this 1/2 inch one, okay? This is a 3/8, so it's a smaller flute, okay? It's got a smaller profile on it. So it's good for tidying up. It's good for tidying up. So, but a lot of people don't get on with these at the beginning because they're difficult to the technique. There is a technique to these, and yeah, and it's not just the technique; it's having the tool placement as well. So it's and I have got it wrong a lot of the times in the past. So some people start on carbide, which are little tips. These go blunt. You just replace the tip. These you sharpen. Okay, but I use both. Okay, because I started on these went to these, couldn't get it, went back to these, and then now he's both. So yeah, it's a good way to get started, carbide. So, but yeah, we've got our shape. I'm just going to clean this up now. We're 651. Should we go a bit faster? I think so. Get up to speed. 725. Okay, 725. They usually say it takes 1 year per inch to dry out here in the UK. I'm going to say, which can take an awful long time. There's a lot of woods I stay away from, like willow, holds a lot of moisture, lots and lots of moisture. And I tried to tame that wood in one of my last live streams and it went terribly wrong. It's awful wood to turn. But yeah, I've got a tree surgeon basically who brings me my my wood basically, which is very, very handy, very, very handy. Yeah, tell me about it, Richard. And it stinks. And it stinks. Made my workshop smell like cat pee for about a week. And yeah, never again. Awful stuff to turn. Awful stuff. What I'm going to do, I'm going to come back onto that 45, okay? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a push cut. Okay, so basically I'm going to come from here and then push around the wood, okay? Because at the moment I'm just scraping, not scraping, but it's called a shear cut, a pull cut. Push cuts is obviously the opposite direction. So, but yeah, we'll give it a bash. We'll give it a bash. But yeah, if you're not subscribed to the channel, don't forget to support my journey here on YouTube. It's very much appreciated. It does go a very long way, and I do really, really appreciate it. Anybody who's already subscribed, thank you very, very much. I reckon that's removed it. Do they now, Richard? I've got loads in my wood store because we had a huge storm here in Wales and it took down hundreds of trees, hundreds of them. And I went out with my chainsaw and I brought back a load of the wood and then I showed it to one of my mentors and he said, Dan, that's willow. I said, what's wrong with it? He said, everything. Everything. And yeah, I tried turning it and I think I've only tamed it once or twice, but I'm not very keen on it. It's a awful wood to turn. Right, okay. I was telling people in my last live, I just had I don't know if I can classify them as arborists, but yeah, a couple of tree surgeons came in and they were meant to pollard 2 apple trees and a nice maple tree. And I went out, walked the dog, cracked them a day, came back, and they'd completely chopped down both my apple trees and left me a stump like this sticking out of the ground. And I left them clear instructions to leave me some wood if you're gonna pollard them. Pollarding mean tidy them up. They pretty much killed them. But the apple trees will never grow back, and the maple gone. Not a happy Dan. I was not a happy Dan at all. I still can't go into the garden because I see just the stumps there, and I used to have a very beautiful wild garden. Not anymore. Yeah, wounded. It was all, yeah, bit of an understatement. It was, I was devastated. Yeah. It gave me a lot of privacy in the garden because there were, yeah, I like a wild garden, you see. I'm not happy. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take that back to this 45 because I need to come right back around that now. Right back around it. No, I'm not a production turner. Far from it. I was going to say, you get production turners who can literally produce the same thing over and over and over again. I just work with the wood and not against it because every piece of wood is different. It's got like tiger stripes in it. I like it. It's different. So what I am going to do, because I realise I'm putting ridges in this. I don't know if you can see if it's evident on camera, but yeah, I've put some ridges in it. So what I'm going to do, you have to keep these sharp, extremely sharp. I was going to say, because if they're not sharp, they're not going to cut. And one way I do that is just flip you around. Is that all right there? Can you see? There it is. This thing, okay? It's a professional sharpening system. It's called a Robert Sorby Pro Edge, and it sharpens the bevel, the profile on the ball gouge. And one way to do that is you've got a jig here. Goes in, lock it in. I'll hold it, okay? That will hold my ball gouge, okay? Put it on. Now that is sharp, okay? So, in the water, it gets hot, okay? And I don't want to temper the steel, okay? So, sharp now, okay? But yeah, these bowl gouges, you can buy cheap ones, but on my bowl gouge, is that what you're talking about? Trail soundtracks. I've got a 40 by 40 grand on here. You can see here, see the bevel on it, 40 by 40. Yeah, I was going to say it's. I would like to, on my next bowl gouge, I'm going to do the Ellsworth grind, 55 degree bevel with swept-back wings on it. So I've got more of a profile to run along. So yeah, now I've got to be careful because this is going to be razor sharp. I don't want to take off loads and loads of timber. Okay. Okay. Right. Put that down. Now this is what I was talking about, carbide, okay? Razor sharp, okay? Razor sharp. I'll put a tenon on the bottom here now, and then behind the tenon, I'm going to put a foot on it. So actually when I grip the bowl with the tenon, you can say, once I remove the tenon, it'll sit on the foot. That makes sense. Hope it makes sense. Wow, man, cool. What lathe is it, buddy? Let me know. What lathe have you got? So the lathe, the tenon is really, really important. Really important. It's got to be completely square all the way around, okay? So there you can see I've got the tenon here, just behind it. I've got the foot, okay. And thank you for the sub, man. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you very much. Ooh, I made that a tad bit smaller. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put the carbide down. I'm going to get out this tool. It's called a skew. And that's what I said, I'm going to square it off now, so basically it's the same diameter all the way around. Put that dovetail on it. Still think it's too big. I still think that tenon is too big. I'm going to shave it down on the side. I think it's the right diameter, but I just think it's a bit too chubby. It's a great start. It's a great start to get into. Just get the feel of it. See if it's your thing, really. See if you enjoy it. If I can help you out, point in the right direction, anything like that, I'm going to say fire over the questions. I'm no expert, I'm no tutor, I'm learning myself. And everything I've picked up basically is just through practice. Lots and lots of practice. And it does take time, it does take time. I said Rome wasn't built in a day, was it? So, okay, well happy with that. What I've got here is this flat edge, okay, it's flat edge. So, I want to remove that flat edge because otherwise the bowl will swing round and it'll have a flat bottom. Like that, okay? I don't want that. So what I'm going to do, I'll use that 3/8 again, okay? And I'll blend that flat edge back into the form of the bowl, the shape of it, okay? It's a nice gentle cut really. There we are. So my other app's working, so yeah, it gives me time to get in the workshop. And yeah, I make all sorts of stuff on here, all sorts of stuff. Like I didn't start on this big lathe, you know, I started on that, wasn't even a big lathe, it's a midi lathe. I did start on a smaller one, just to see if I got on with it, see if I liked it. And yeah, it is addictive. It is addictive. So, but right, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take the tool stock away, tool rest and the banjo away. And as you can see on here, that ring, okay? And that ring has got, it's got two purposes basically. It's got two rings, okay? Your outer ring, your internal ring, okay? Your internal ring is called the faceplate, okay? And see that chuck, okay? So when I put the key in the chuck, lock that so it doesn't spin. These jaws will open and they'll close, okay? So, well, open. So what we want to do is basically when we put the faceplate on, it's going to be dead center, because if it's not, when you come to make the bowl, you have a big fat rim and then a very thin rim on the other side. We don't want that. So it's going to be even all the way around. So what we do is basically we put the faceplate on, and those jaws there, they'll expand into that into that ring. Okay, so basically it's one of the most secure ways of holding your wood. Basically, you can lock it between centers. Another good way of doing it. But yeah, this is the way I support my wood. Basically, faceplate it. We'll use screw the base to do the internal. I'll show you exactly how I do it. Right, see that ring there, foot I've made, and that tenon. See, got the same diameter all the way around. We can't have it chubby on one side and thin on the other because we want a nice grip of it. Okay, so what I want to do is open those jaws up. Okay, that tenon is going in there. Okay. Okay, you want to make sure it's butted up really nicely to that shoe. And then we lock it. Okay, we lock it. So we're gripping that tenon now. Well, for dear life. You don't want to over tighten it, because if you over tighten it, you've got the risk of it tearing the fibres of the wood, and you rip the tenon off. So, a drill driver. So it's actually being held by that tenon now, okay? And get these screws out. Have I got 3,000 already? Okay, they're only small screws, but they're steel, okay? Never use anything like drywall screws or anything like that. It's off a soft hold. Yeah, I just wouldn't over tighten it. Just don't over tighten it. Pines and stuff like that. You just want to make sure it's got a nice grip, but not too tight. So basically, just give it a pull. See if it's going to come off there. But yeah, they're steel screws. Never invest in cheap screws, because you don't want them snapping. If they snap, then you're in trouble. There's only 4 screws holding it. Here we are, face plate's off, okay? So, okay, we'll give it a spin. Okay, so now basically it's been supported by that chuck here, okay? Those jaws I was talking about, gripping and expanding and closing and stuff. So we've gripped that tenon now, turn our speed all the way down. Never ever start a lathe off really, really fast. Never ever, always start a lathe off at the slowest speed. So what I'm looking for basically, I don't want tool rest up here, okay? Because at the end of the day I want to be cutting, but you want tool rest just under centre, just above quarter, just under centre. So when you put your gouge on, you're actually hopefully sitting on centre, okay? So you're sitting on centre then basically. And as you can see, it's black, okay, here. It's the tannins in oak, and what they can tend to do. You can see your hands black. Got to try some charring or scorching before epoxy. Yeah, ash is meant to be very, very good for scorching. Very good. So what I want to do now is I'm going to use the left-hand bevel. Okay, so this bevel here, close to the wood. And all I'm doing is I'm not gripping this flute, okay? Because if you get a catch, it's gonna hurt your hands, okay? Just support it. Just support it. Just put your weight on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up to about 600 revs, okay? 655, that'll be fine. Yeah, and mine. So basically what I want to do is just come across nicely. I'm not adding any pressure, okay? None at all. I'm letting the lathe spin it and let the tools cut it, okay? So, yeah, there you go. Clean now. So what I want to do now is I'm coming over, okay? I'm coming over because I want to use this right hand bevel now, and I just want to come in and swing with it, okay? Swing. I want to make sure that's nice and secure. Can I get some light in here? It's rather dull. Need some better light on that piece of timber. Right, is that better? Right, we're 655. Okay, so make sure everything's locked, literally locked. You don't want that tool rest dropping or anything. Okay, this is where we do the hollowing. Okay, good swing. Is that angle okay? Is the angle alright on that bowl? Yeah, it's definitely getting there now. See, I'm working from the edge. I'm not trying to start over here. From the edge, I'm not taking too much timber off at all. So just a little bit by little bit, okay? Now as you can see, the flute is pointing away, okay? I used to do it like this, with it facing towards me, and that's when I kept getting a catch. And yeah, and I've learned to hollow a little bit better. Get rid of that there. Excellent, thank you, Josh. Have I got a piece of sawdust on the camera there? My apologies. So yeah, you can see we've already started it, and you can see that diameter of the rim, okay, it's the same all the way around. Like I said, if that faceplate wasn't on central, it would be thin on one end than the other. So, like I said, just supporting the gouge. See, I like to talk my way through when I'm woodturning live, you see, because like me, I had to start somewhere. And how deep do I go? I'll try and keep it at least about 1/4 of an inch from the base, from the bottom of the bowl. I can make it really shallow like that, be a bit like a potpourri bowl. So I don't want to do that. Make it a bit deeper. So first, you just want to create how much rim we've got really, and then we'll start going deeper and deeper and deeper, and we'll just hollow as we go really. I've done it again, look. Yeah. Storage bowl, you can use it for almost anything really. You can use it for porridge, put it in your bathroom, but anyway really. Yeah, something like that. As I say, it's we'll see the size of it once we hollow it. Oh, good. It's not too noisy there. I was going to say it can get pretty noisy in here sometimes. Okay, see that rim? We're leaving that rim there now, okay? Because I don't want to make it, it's got to have some kind of definition to it, you know, a bit of character. So now we'll just start going back into the centre, make it a bit deeper. I think the best way it was explained to me, you gotta remember wood is just like paper. Layers and layers and layers of paper. That's where we get made paper from, trees. So you just removing the layers. 74 people, 74 likes, 78 people in the room. Thank you everybody, I really do appreciate that. It's very kind of you, much appreciated. Thank you. Somebody said the other day, how come somebody on a skateboard ends up with 1,000 likes, and there's me here woodturning and explaining it all, and I can barely get to 100. Well, I think my highest count was 200. Thank you, Michael. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I try and explain the process. See, when I swing back on myself, when I'm coming back, say from the centre now, and I come towards myself, pull cut, okay, pull cut. If I'm putting the flute away from me, this one, push cut, okay? So you got pull, push, okay? Ooh. And that's really kind of you, Michael. Really kind of you, mate. Thank you. There's something wrong with my stream the other day, and for some reason I had like 10 people in the stream and like 2 likes. So I'm sure something was going on with YouTube, but sometimes you can work against the grain, and what they call a shear scrape. It's better to push. It's better to push against that grain. See that catch then? See the catch then? Bevel is in the wrong position, and I caught the wood. So. Woo. We're getting there. I think we're going to speed up. Yeah, that's the problem. Okay, 775, that'll do. I'm going to tidy that rim up, okay? Just on the rim itself, okay? One way I do that, just the corner of the bevel, okay? Very, very gently. Done. No, it's not. Now it's done. Okay. Okay, we are making some depth there. Okay, we're going to see how far we're in that bowl now. Okay, about 3/4 of the way in. Okay, so we are that deep in. Okay, ooh, okay, we are definitely heading to the bottom. This is where I need to be careful. Okay, on this bottom 45 curve here. This is cool. This is cool, isn't it? So you get the idea now. Is that light annoying or not? Alright, so the end grain is annoying. It can be problematic. Thank you very much, Michael. Appreciate that, buddy. We'll get a better view of it once it's finished, because I'll bring it right to the camera. And you have a really good look at it. What I'm trying to do is come back in on this 45 here, okay? Because the wall thickness at the top here I'm quite happy with, okay? So I've got a nice even rim all the way around, okay? I don't want to be messing with that. In times where I've had mistakes, I've gone straight through the wall of the bowl. Is that light coming through and affecting? Is that a bit better? Yeah. I don't want to go through the wall of the bowl because I'm quite happy with the wall thickness up here. It's down here, I need to be more mindful, okay? I'm coming into this 45 now. I'll probably come in back to centre, never come over here, never on the opposite side, because you can remember it's spinning this way, it's coming towards me. Always work from the centre closest to you, okay? So I may go a tad bit deeper, and then swing this back in, swing from the 45 back to the centre. We'll see how we get on. We'll see how we get on. It'll look a lot better once I've sanded it and finished it off. It'll look amazing. Okay, happy with that. Not really, no. Not really, no, Michael. Just sanders mainly just to make it smooth, really. If you went in with like 50 grit or something, then you would start removing wall thickness. So that's why I start at 80. Okay. Some very light cuts now down the bottom there. Just I don't want this raised area in the bottom of the bowl, okay? So you just make sure it's in slight light passes. You should feel it on the end of the bevel in your hand, okay? Just you feel the gouge raise, okay? So you just want to make sure that's nice and I've done very thin bowls. Have I got one in here? Let me just turn the light on a second. I'm sure I did a very thin one recently. Piece of beech. It's like paper. Most of the time hardwoods. Yeah, that is thin. It's like paper. It's like paper thin. But most of the time it's hardwoods. I mean, there's a thing about side grain and end grain, okay? Side grain is like I showed you earlier with half a log and we cut it down the centre. End grain, which I stay away from, is what I started on basically. It's what I started on. End grain is this, okay? And why is it called end grain? Because the end, right? Big long log, okay? Long log. Get your chainsaw out. Get the chainsaw out, okay? And you chop the log into cookies, okay? So you can remember this part of the long log, okay? And the problem with this, in the centre, the pith is still there, okay? The pith is still in the log. And basically, if I took practically already round, it'd be very easy just to make it definitely round, just by shaving it off and hollowing it out. The likelihood of that cracking as soon as I turn it into a bowl is very likely. Very likely. I'm sure I've got a piece of end grain in here, which I use as an example. I don't know if I got rid of it now. Bear with me. Did I get rid of it? I think I did. Yeah, end grain cracks because of the pith is left in, and it's where the softest part of the log is. You're very right there, Richard. End grain is end grain. End game. Yeah, because you turn it into a bowl, you put it to the side, leave it 24, 48 hours, you come back to it, and be cracked down the side of your bowl. Yeah, don't use it. That's what I started on. So yeah, always get a log, slice it down the centre, and basically, yeah, get rid of that pith out of it, and then mount that. So I'm quite happy with that. Okay, it's a nice fact. Yeah, it's more a decorative piece rather than a salad bowl. So let me take that off. This is where I always come into play, and I think, shall we go a bit deeper? It's always good to, you can quite easily tell by putting your bowl gouge in. There's the rim. About there. Okay. No. We won't go deeper. We won't go deeper. Just in case. Just in case. And that's 120 grit. So what I like to do, get the drill driver out. These sanding attachments. Take that off. Take that off. And what I'm looking for is an 80 grit disc, okay? 80 grit. Let me just find one, give you 1 second. There, 80 grit, okay? 80 grit. Stick it on. Okay. What I'm going to do now, this may sound a little bit distracting, but it's my air cleaner, okay? That is always good to have it on when I'm woodturning or dust sanding. Not enough one, so remember that's the one, problem with it. Right. You hear it? Sucking all the dust out of the air, okay? Hence where it takes its name from, air cleaner. Hi RG. You like it, mate? Quite nice, isn't it? It's quite pretty. Got a bit like a barcode in there. Put the dust mask on just in case. Don't fancy breathing any of this in. RG, we're up to 3,000, mate. In 5 weeks. 775. That's that, mate. You can pretty much turn anything, mate. Apart from Willow. Ooh, I've got a little ridge there. Didn't see that. I did not see that. See, you got to remember, it's still being held on by that tenon, okay? I've got a little ridge in the bottom, top of the ball there. I've already hit it with an 80 grit. It's already nice and smooth in there already, so I've got my hand in there already. So you just got to be careful. Just don't mess around when your hand's inside that ball. Right, helmet. Safety first. Speed right up, 900. And a nice clean cut now. One way to know if your rim is bumpy or not is put the tip of your finger on it or tip of your thumb. Don't move it. Just let the rim run over your thumb. If it's not completely smooth, you'll feel it like something rubbing against your thumb. And you usually stop the lathe and you'll check it and you'll be like, where is it? And you'll feel it. Okay, you definitely enjoy that wall thickness, but what I've done now, create a bit of a dartboard in the bottom. So, I'll sort that out now. There you go, simple as that. See, the outside's already smooth, look. Even at 80 grit, it'll be smooth. Get a 120 on there, it'll be much smoother. 240, be baby smooth, okay? Much, much smoother. Can't even tell how many likes now, 83. See if we can get to 90, eh? See if we can get to 90. So I know 123 people are still in this room, okay? So what actually got me into woodturning is, remember our COVID days, you couldn't go anywhere, see anybody. And I sat in, binge watched lots and lots and lots and lots of YouTube. And I was just like, that looks cool, I want to learn how to do that. Tell a lie, I went on holidays to the Greek islands and I saw woodturning for the very first time. And I thought that looks cool. And then we had our COVID days, lockdown days. And that's when I was just like binge watching everything. Thinking, I want to learn that. I want to know how you do it. Yeah, 18 months on, 2 years on, nearly 120 grit on that. This stuff is much, much better, okay? This stuff is much better. 80 grit, paperback, okay? You say, because you can get some sandpaper, and it's not paperback. And believe you me, it just rips up really easy, really easy. So, we get some of that. And again, non-abrasive pad. Have we got any left? This is the paperback stuff I was talking about. This stuff. Look. It's just, yeah, it's not very good at all. It's not very good at all. What I'm looking for is my brains. There you go. Little soft hand really, stops me stops my fingers getting warm. And here's with the 80 grit, 120 grit, 240 grit. 85 likes, so 5 away. And then when I hit 890, I'll say, let's get to 100. Let's wrap this up, we can go full speed, okay? 1,000 revs. Now 120 grit, okay? What I don't want is the wood to get warm. If wood warms up, it'll no, it's alright. It'll expand the bowl. I need to look at that. I need to look at that, it's going to annoy me. Let's slow it down. It could be just the grain. Yeah, it's just the grain. Or is it that? that. You see it spinning and I'm thinking, is there something there? No. Right. Let's go back to that 120. Hi Danny. How are you on? 86 still. That's a bit good. Appreciate it. I'll show you what it looks like in a minute when it comes off the lathe. You can tell it's sort of dry because there's not much sap in it. If it's wet wood, the sap will just build up on the sandpaper really quickly. Just stop it there a minute. Just stop it there a second. Yeah, it's pretty clear in here. In the sun. You look in the air and you think, is it dusty in here? No. The air cleaner's doing an excellent job. I'm going to put it in reverse, so it's going to spin the other way, okay? That way. This way you've got to be very mindful that you've got it in reverse. Sometimes you go underneath and think it's still running towards you, but it's not, going that way now. This way you got to be a little bit careful. That's baby smooth. That is baby smooth. So the last screw I hit it with is 240, okay? 240. Yeah. Right, it's just going to get, this will get a little tad noisy just for a minute, okay? Just for a minute. I won't be on long. It's going to clear the air a lot faster. extraction unit. It sucks all the dust out of here. A little bit in the background, but it's going. The air cleaner's dealing with it. So what I'm looking for is a small little rag. Okay, I don't want anything too big. Okay, if you're using big long rags, it can get caught into everywhere. Okay, and what I'm using here is called Furniture Clinic Pure Tongue Oil. Okay, excellent stuff. Always apply your finish on the slowest RPM. Try and put it on when it's really spinning, it'll splash right back in your face. Okay, get that in there. Is that really dark now? It is very dark. We've lost our light. I love this time of year, but you get up, it's dark. Finish at the workshop, it's dark. Yeah, it's just one of them, isn't it? It's just always dark. So basically, I'll give it a good coat now. Really good coat. And let that all soak in. And as I'm just soaking it all into the bowl, get it a good coat. Put that to the side. That will always come in handy. I get a dryish rag. Whack it up in speed. What I'm going to do now is give it a buff. Buff it up. With just some small little rag, okay? Nothing too long. Good job, thank you very much, buddy. So, you got to remember, a lathe can and it will hurt you, okay? Always got to ensure that you're looking after your safety. Always. Where's my glove? That work. Better now, isn't it? That work patching out of that off. Yeah, that's better. That's better. You see here, that little line is that barcode I think I was talking about. That's what I kept looking at. Okay, we didn't get to 90, we got to 88, that's fair enough. 107 people in the room. Okay, there we are. Turn it off. So, but thank you to everybody who subscribes to the channel. It really does mean a lot to me, okay? Really well appreciated. And yeah, as I said, I wouldn't keep coming back on trying to explain myself, and because I think you lot, the ones I'm woodturning and demonstrating to, you're the community, yeah? You're the ones who inspire me to get better at this stuff and to come back and try something different. But yeah, it's all part of my journey with woodturning. I'm not an expert, I'm not a tutor. I'm just a progressive woodturner. There you go. Nice piece of British oak. You get that? Better. Too many shadows in it. Too many shadows. There we are. Amazing. Do you like that, Michael? There. So basically, see, I will remove that whole time. It's just been gripping onto that. Okay. Tenon doesn't have to be huge. But it's got to be the same diameter all the way around, like I said. I will remove that tenon, okay, that tenon. You can see the foot just underneath it that we made. So it literally sits on that foot. I got a demonstration one. Yeah. A bit like the ash. See the foot? There's no tenon there, just sits on it. So, yeah, same thing will happen to that oak bowl. Yeah, we remove that tenon, but yeah, you can see the heart of the wood now. You can say it's mainly the darker brown, and the lighter oak, which is the white oak. It's mad. I've not got a barcode in there. Weird. Yeah, quite like that. Different. It's different. But yeah, then we look at the outside. So you just want a nice, smooth finish. I'd preferably like to blend that in a bit more, but overall, I'm quite happy with it. I'm quite happy with it. And say it's I've made worse, done a lot worse, and it's all part of my wood turning journey. But yeah, but I just want to say thank you to every single one of you. I mean, you've been great, been really well interacting, chatting, asking questions, and that's what I like about my lives. I was going to say it's all engaging, and but hopefully, if you haven't subscribed, you will subscribe. So you say but we've hit over 3,000 in 5 weeks, which I'm really happy with. But you're more than welcome, Michael. More than welcome, buddy. I was going to say I will be back on very, very soon, probably in the next day or two. I am going to be turning some of that exotic wood, just to try and give a bit more variety on the channel, and if that makes sense. I am brand new to YouTube. I can say it's I could have just stayed off YouTube and just practiced here in my workshop, and yeah, it's all trial and error. It's all trial and error, and every piece always teaches me something different. Every single one. And whether or not I get a catch in the wood, or whether or not the form doesn't take the right shape, or I learn something from every one of them. Look at the rim, okay? All the same, all the way around, okay? I did do one, and the faceplate wasn't dead center. Like I said, it'll start like this, then you come around to the other side of the bowl, and it'll be really thin. So the diamond just seems to get thinner. Don't know why that is, but it does happen. But yeah, if you've got any questions, you can say fire away in the comment section. These lives do go public at the very end on my channel. So for anybody who hasn't seen the whole thing, will be able to see it on my channel. And but yeah, overall, I'm quite happy with that. So the size is 7.5 inches. Lost quite a lot of timber on that, minus the tenon. 7.5 by 3.5. So it's not a bad size. But yeah, hope you all have a lovely Sunday. So you have a great evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you're from in the world, and hopefully I shall see you back on the other side. But thanks to everybody who subscribed, liked, commented, all that shebang, and hopefully, yeah, stay safe, everybody. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you all soon. Take care, everybody. Have a blessed day. God bless. See you all soon. Take care.